Doma wool quilts for warm wintry nights and cool summer evenings, and natural latex providing superior conformability and pressure relief for aching joints. Stop in today at any Ken Michaels Furniture store and save up to 50% compared to national brands.
Time for the WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. The Brewers lose to the Chicago Cubs from American Family Field, losing 6-2. The Brewers continue their series with the Cubs later today at 1:15. You can listen to the action right here on 620 WTMJ. The Milwaukee Admirals lose against the Rockford Ice Hogs in Game 2 of the AHL Central Division semifinals. The puck drops for the Admirals again May 7th at 7 p.m. Taking a look at the roads with the WTMJ's time saver traffic. No major issues, no major delays, and full race freeway speeds across the system.
Traffic is sponsored by Tehan Greenhouses in Oak Creek. Buy direct and local for all your garden plants.
Tehan Greenhouses in Oak Creek. Come shop and see the beautiful hanging baskets and deck-ready potted plants and vegetable plants, too. Tehan Greenhouses. Buy direct from the grower. Tehan.
Here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Today, increasing clouds with a breeze and a high of 56 near the lake and 64 inland, with wind picking up to 10 to 20 miles per hour, 25 miles per hour. Tonight, slight chance of showers, mostly cloudy with a breeze and a low of 44. Monday, chance of showers in the morning, mostly cloudy with a high of 53. Tuesday, mostly sunny, high of 63 near the lake, 70 inland. Wednesday, partly sunny with a breeze, high of 58 near the lake and 72 inland. Thursday, mostly sunny with a high of 53. Right now in Madison, it's 43. In Green Bay, 48. In Waukesha, 46. And in Milwaukee, 44 degrees. I'm Nazir Spencer, Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 8:07.
This is Wisconsin's Weekend Morning News with Libby Collins.
And it's going to be a great day out there this morning. And by the way, if you are anywhere near the Summerfest grounds, you're probably seeing a lot of people gather. And joining us on our Siding Unlimited talk and text line is Rob Mulderer. He's the president of Wisconsin National Multiple Sclerosis Society. And Rob, what's going on out there today?
Oh, Libby, you know, we're just going to be hanging out with 2,000 of our closest friends that love and support or perhaps live with multiple sclerosis for Walk-MS Milwaukee today. It's our annual celebration of this terrible disease that seems to be rampant all over our area. So we're going to be showing a lot of love and support to those that live with MS today.
Tell us where you're going to be walking. What's the route?
Yeah, so it's a beautiful route. I think one of the best we've had of all our events. It's around Lakeshore State Park. So we're going to start on the south end of Summerfest at the Briggs Stage, walk out of Summerfest, and then people can walk 1, 2, or 3 miles with friends, family, strollers. Everybody's invited to come in and hang out in this beautiful eighth winter day, Libby, or whatever we're calling this season we're in now.
Well, it's not so bad. It's a good day for a walk. And
I'll take it.
I know you said you're expecting about 2,000 people. If you didn't pre-register, can you still come out today?
Come one, come all. Register today, register tomorrow. We do not care. We want everyone to be here. There's no registration fee. All we ask is people consider fundraising or make a donation to show the love and support for people with MS. So let's take advantage of that sun, Libby. We haven't seen a lot of it this year, and we've got boatloads here at the Summerfest grounds today.
Now, Rob, I know that over 20,000 people right here in Wisconsin have been diagnosed with MS.
They have been, and unfortunately, our state is a league leader. We're one of the states that has the highest incident rates in the entire country. So leading the league with the number of people with MS, we also lead the league in the amount of people that love and support those that live with MS. So unfortunately, many people live in the state. You may know someone, your listeners may know someone as well. Even more important, why people have to come out and show support to these people that really, really need to help battle this stupid, frustrating, and very, very strange disease. So that's what we're doing today.
Yeah. Why does Wisconsin have so many people diagnosed with it? Has there been any study on that?
Yes, our organization is 80 years old, the first, and we have learned more in the last 8 years than we did in the first 72. And related to Wisconsin, the farther you are from the equator, the less sun you see. It's actually a vitamin D inefficiency disease. So if you don't see a lot of sun, you happen to have a lot of people live with MS. So here in the Midwest, and also it's not so much your family history, it's more genealogy, where your ancestors came from. This disease started in northern eastern Europe, and it's actually a direct link to the Vikings. So where did a lot of those people settle when they came to the U.S., Libby? Right here in the Midwest. So we have a perfect storm of a lot of people with MS with maybe some environmental factors, but then some prior history as well.
That is fascinating. And again, you're out there raising awareness and hopefully getting great donations. And again, it's the walk for Wisconsin Multiple Sclerosis Society, 10 o'clock this morning, and you're out there already at the Summerfest grounds.
We've been here since 6:30. We are open and ready. The gates open shortly. Come one, come all. And Libby, we're hoping to set a record. We've never raised more than $400,000. We're on the cusp of that, looking for $500,000 today. So love if everybody can join in the efforts to show some people live with MS a lot of love. So it's going to be a great day. Beautiful day.
It certainly is. Rob Multerer, thanks so much for joining us, and have a great walk.
Thank you, Libby. Appreciate you. Talk to you soon.
It is 8:11 on WTMJ, and while you're out walking, maybe you want to wear a headset, because we've got a good show today. We've got Tim Gibbons here. He's from the Milwaukee Business Journal, and he's going to join us with more details about that firing of the recently hired CEO of Kohl's, Ashley Buchanan, and that's almost like it's almost like a story that could be a movie. There's so much to it. Also, tomorrow we start Teacher Appreciation Week, and we're going to be talking about the challenges that teachers face right here in the city of Milwaukee. Also, it's garage sales season, and our consumer expert, Michelle Reinen, is going to join us on advice on what to look for before you buy all those used bargains. Also, Sandy Max is here with Sunday What's on Tap, and, that Milwaukee Film Fest ends this week. She's got a couple of movies you want to see, and she also tells us about the film a lot of people are talking about called Sinners. So I think you'll want to stick around for that. Also, new at 9, we're going to be talking about Bill Belichick's girlfriend and Prince Harry. Plus, we're going to take a look back at the week in review. Isaac Marquardt is here pushing those buttons. Nazir Spencer is in the newsroom. And in just 2 minutes, it's Marquardt in Sports right here on WTMJ. And as you just heard, we got some clouds out there today. It's going to be breezy, but our temperature's not going to be too bad. If you're out there for the MS walk, 56 will be your high. And if a little bit further inland, we're going to get up to 64. It is 44 degrees at 8:13 on WTMJ.
Have you heard a lot of buzz about tariffs?
No.
Really?
What's a tariff?
It's a tax on imported goods.
Well, I've never heard of tariffs because 92.3% of Penny Mustard's furniture is made in the USA.
True.
In fact, most of it is built by local craftsmen and women right here in the Midwest.
And locally sourced furniture will never have a tariff on it.
Can we talk about this later? I'm tired of hearing about these tariffs.
So I guess you can say that all this talk about tariffs is taxing.
PennyMustard.com.
If you need a place for new home interior ideas, then you have to come talk to us. Our on-staff decorators know furniture, home decor, and a lot more. And they're not only creative, but also very willing to help you make great choices. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating taste come to find premium home decor at a value. Design Exchange in Heartland and Pewaukee. Stop in often, because our inventory changes daily.
Design Exchange.
Previously, it has been gently loved. But here, you'll only find very well-conditioned premium home decor items that you likely won't find elsewhere. Distinctive furniture, unique antiques, and original art, and other tasteful home decor at a value. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating taste come to find premium home decor on consignment at 25 to 40% off retail prices in Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange. Don't think twice. Call Geis.
For 70 years, Geis has been the trusted garage authority in Wisconsin. WTMJ's Greg Matzik here. Don't let a busted garage door get you down. Call my friends at Geis today. With brands like CHI and LiftMaster, they have doors for every budget and will even build custom designs to meet your exact needs. For swift and reliable garage repair solutions, go to GeisDoors.com. You can also visit their amazing showroom in Brookfield and their custom design room.
Don't think twice. Call Geis.
Time for a WTMJ sports update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. It was another loss for the Brewers yesterday as they fell to the Cubs 6-2. And what's the problem? Let's ask Brewers manager Pat Murphy.
We do have 6 really relatively inexperienced players in our lineup. But it seems like we've misplaced our edge a little bit. We don't have the confidence, not playing with the confidence, but I know who these people are, so I'm confident they will find it. Just a little shocked that we've misplaced that edge a little bit.
The Crew meet Chicago again today at AmFam Field. Our coverage gets underway at noon with Brewers warm-up here on WTMJ. And 19 of the world's fastest 3-year-olds ran a muddy track at Churchill Downs yesterday. Sovereignty ran the course in 2 minutes, 2 seconds, edging out Favorite Journalism by a length and a half. And an interesting note, all 19 horses in that race share a unique bloodline with Triple Crown winner Secretariat. I'm Mark Wart for WTMJ Sports.
Yep, that was quite a ways. I love that. I mean, Sovereignty, he ran and got through that mud. But, I guess there's something you could say about Secretariat.
What's that?
He's quite a stud. All right, it's 8:16. Coming up in just a couple minutes, we've got Timothy Gibbons from the Milwaukee Business Journal. What the heck was going on at Kohl's? Well, he's going to tell you all about it coming up in just a couple minutes on WTMJ.
Tune in to Wisconsin's Midday News with Greg Matzik and Jessica Ty.
Will Giannis say, it's time for me to go? Because how do you make this an attractive situation for Giannis next season?
Bringing you the latest in news, sports, traffic, and weather.
A California man is now banned from possessing firearms due to his connection to the shooting at Abundant Life Christian School in Madison.
Every weekday from noon until 3 p.m.
4 months on the job and the new CEO of Kohl's is out.
Only on WTMJ.
Filet mignon isn't as cheap as chopped steak, and you can't buy a yacht for the same price as a dinghy. But while they last, you can buy high-end Beautyrest Black and Sealy Posturepedic mattresses for nowhere near high-end prices. Hasseless Mattress is clearing out a handful of premium floor models. These are the best of the best, and now you can get them for way less. Like a Beautyrest Black LX Hybrid was $3,599, but now it's just $971. Or a Sealy Posturepedic Golden Acres Pillow Top was $1,093, but the floor model is just $546. Visit any employee-free, hassleless showroom and test your favorite floor model without salespeople breathing down your neck. You won't find these mattresses priced this low anywhere else. It's like buying a Lamborghini for $10,000 just because it sat on the showroom floor. Only a few floor models are available at each Hasseless mattress location, and when they're gone for good. Find an employee-free showroom near you at Hasseless.com.
Well, we've got some clouds out there this morning. It's going to be on the breezy side today. We're going to get up to 56 degrees if you're close to the lake. Going further inland, we'll be at around 64 degrees. Then tonight, we've got a slight chance of some showers, mostly cloudy and breezy, down to 44. Tomorrow, early in the morning, looks like we might get some rain, and then it's going to be cloudy the rest of the day. 53 will be your high temperature. On Tuesday, the sun comes back. We're going to hit all the way up to 70 inland, a little bit cooler near the lake. On Wednesday, partly sunny, breezy, 72 inland, 58 near the lake. And then Thursday, mostly sunny with a high of 53 degrees right now. In Kenosha, it's 45. Oconomowoc has 47. Cedarburg's at 46. We have 44 degrees at WTMJ at 8:19. It's time to check in on our Siding Unlimited talk and text line with Timothy Gibbons, editor-in-chief of the Milwaukee Business Journal. And Tim, the big story this week, obviously, is that Kohl's fired their new CEO, Ashley Buchanan, and it seems to be under very interesting circumstances. What do you know?
Yeah, it is quite a roller coaster ride for the company. So he's just been there for a few months. He started this year, and the company is saying that he basically had the company enter into a contract with a vendor who was getting paid basically on very favorable terms, is the term that they used. Turns out that the CEO had a relationship with the consultant who this contract is with and did not disclose that to his employer. The news coming out this morning is also that that consultant has also lost her job because she had not disclosed to the consulting company higher-ups that she had been in a romantic relationship with Buchanan.
Any idea how soon after his installation as CEO did this begin?
It's unclear exactly when, but it was very quick. And that's in talking to some recruiting sort of people. One of the things they say is that this was maybe a failure by the recruiting firm who brought him on board, that it wouldn't show up in a background check sort of thing, obviously, but that maybe more due diligence should have been done. Kind of on the flip side of that, there is a sense that, well, this is clearly a bad situation for the company. Kudos has to be given to their audit committee. You can't imagine what it's like, hire this person and immediately launch an investigation like this. Took somebody taking the allegations seriously and actually moving ahead on them.
Well, that's the amazing thing. It took months and months for them to hire Buchanan. He only started in the position in January. Here we are. It was actually, the first day of May where,
basically 100 days.
Where this happened. It kind of makes your head spin. And his compensation package was quite generous.
It was. And the company, in legal terms, technically, he was fired for cause, which is important because it means the company can claw back all of that bonus money. So his first year compensation with all of the signing bonuses and all of those things basically was double what his predecessor has made. Now, that it's a little bit of paperwork sort of thing because that money would have flowed in over years, but he was facing a very big payday and all of that will be clawed back.
So he's going to get nothing for what he's done?
Well, that is a question that I'm sure his lawyers and the company's lawyers are hashing out. I wouldn't want to overstep that. And I'm sure he will get paid something, but clearly not the big payday that had been promised.
One other question on this. You mentioned that the vendor who had the employee that he had a romantic relationship with, did that vendor already have a relationship with Kohl's prior to this, or was the vendor brought in after Buchanan started with Kohl's?
My understanding is that it came in after he started. I do not know that for an absolute fact, but the vendor, the contractor, is somebody who also had high-level executive experience, had worked at Walmart, had been CEO of Bed Bath & Beyond for a brief while, and basically was serving as a consultant, trying to help Kohl's right the ship. There's probably a good argument to be made that having some outside advice was not the worst thing in the world. The problem is, how much is that person getting paid? And again, a lot of it comes down to the disclosure. I'm not sitting in the boardroom at Kohl's, but clearly things get treated differently if the board is informed of all of this information versus it feeling like it's something that is being done behind their back.
So what's next for Kohl's? Where do they go from here? They've got enough problems as it is.
That is part of the problem. It is quite a black eye for the company. As you said, they spent months getting to this position of replacing their CEO. They have a board member who has a lot of experience stepping in as the interim CEO who will be running things at least in the short term. But the idea is that they have to find what the path is going forward. It's a tough time in retail. It's particularly a tough time now with tariffs coming into place, fears of shoppers pulling back. It's a really hard time to turn a retail business around. So whoever they have in that role next, he or she is going to have quite a challenge ahead of them.
We're talking with Timothy Gibbons, editor-in-chief of the Milwaukee Business Journal. Let's talk about a couple of other stories. One is good news if you own a home in the Milwaukee area, and that's that they've had the largest year-over-year home price increase.
Yes. So it is quite a interesting look at how prices stack up. So this data that we reported based on analysis done by Redfin. The Milwaukee area has, in the period that ended at the end of April, had the highest increase in home prices. So across the country, you see some other markets, Jacksonville and Austin and some of those other Sunbelt cities, their home prices have declined. In the Midwest, those prices are still continuing to go up. The general sense is, in one way, it's a sign that we started at a lower base, that our prices did not surge quite as much during the COVID period as it did in some of those Sunbelt cities. So there is still a lot of interest for people moving here, a lot of interest, a lot of pent-up demand by people looking to buy homes, and more demand drives up prices.
And speaking of those homes in Wauwatosa, they're moving to approve these accessory dwelling units. Explain exactly what those are.
Yeah. So this is the idea of building a small, kind of like an add-on home. They're limited to being 900 square feet or less, but they're actual homes that are kind of in your backyard. You might know of them as mother-in-law suites, granny suites. I was talking to somebody the other day that these are part of Milwaukee's history. I think he called them Polish apartments. But the idea is that you have these accessory units, and a lot of times they're used for as family members age. Maybe you don't want to put mom or dad in a assisted living facility, but you don't want them living totally on their own, but you also don't want them living in your house. So this becomes a way to have living space, it's a private unit, but it's connected to your backyard.
And I would think it's also a way to get the kids out of the basement and move them into the backyard.
Exactly. You can do it for that. You can do it rental income, whatever. Yeah.
So is every home in Wauwatosa going to be eligible? Because some of those lots are pretty small.
Right. So the zoning change was made a couple years ago to allow accessory dwelling units. There are still guidelines over where you can put them. I mean, you can't just shove them onto every postage stamp. So if a listener is interested in doing that, they have to look up their individual address and see if it is applicable. But it is pretty much widespread across the city.
And finally, Tim, let's talk about the Milwaukee Airport possible expansion.
Yes, big project has been in the works for years. The talk about this actually started pre-COVID. And then when COVID hit and for a moment it looked like nobody would ever fly again, those plans were all put on hold. But it's back. The price tag has gone up over the years. Obviously, construction material prices have increased, but the airport is moving ahead with this plan, which would expand not just the amount of terminal space, but specifically they're looking to make the international in Milwaukee International Airport be a real thing. This terminal would have the possibility of allowing international flights to go in and out of Milwaukee, which I know a lot of people who otherwise have to go to one of the other airports in the region for those direct international flights would be able to do that from here.
Well, that sounds like great news for travelers. No more trips to O'Hare if you want to leave the country. Hey, listen, Tim Gibbons from the Milwaukee Business Journal. It is always great to hear from you.
It's great to talk to you as well. You have a great day.
It's 8:26, and we have 44 degrees at WTMJ.
Slide into your neighborhood Century Food Store to score the freshest produce, tastiest treats, and everything in between. Now through Wednesday, save on 48-ounce selected variety Cedar Crust ice cream, $4.49. 13.1 to 16-ounce selected varieties Swanson Hungry Man dinners, 2 for $7. 11 to 18.7-ounce selected varieties Kellogg cereal, 2 for $6. 8 to 15.75-ounce selected varieties Frito-Lay Party Size Lay's, Tostitos Natural, or Tostitos Dip, $3.99.
Attention shoppers. Safe.
Okay. Ooh. Pineapple fulfills every need.
While you're shopping, a drive way back, it's a gunner.
There's something goofy going on with the PA.
Need a price check and I'll take me out to the ball game.
See, what is going on?
You're hearing things. We're at Century Foods, and you can't take your mind off winning that ultimate baseball fan sweepstakes.
I'm hoping to throw out the first pitch at a Milwaukee baseball game.
Or attend batting practice.
Or hold the finish line ribbon for the racing sausages.
You don't say.
The ultimate baseball fan sweepstakes at Century Foods. Enter on Century's Facebook or Instagram by July 30th.
So how is that possible? 1.9% real estate commission? There must be something you're not telling me.
I hear that a lot. The truth is, everybody could do it, but they choose not to because folks keep paying more than they have to. I guess they just haven't heard yet that Century 21 Benefit Realty can make that 1.9% real estate commission promise on the sale of your home and stick to it. So I'd like to think that's going to make your decision easy. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated. You only get one chance to make a first impression, and that goes double for your home listing, because that's how you're going to get the most value. By having a customized marketing plan specific to your property with professional photos, global marketing, and the built-in experience that Century 21 Benefit Realty has brought to the table since 2004. And being joined with Century 21 just makes all of the above stand out that much more. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated.
Well, coming up here in the next half hour, we're going to be sharing some tips for you if you like to go to those garage sales. And I do. I mean, I love bargains. I really do. And, well, we're going to tell you what to watch for and be careful before you actually purchase it. Before we do anything else, though, we've got Nizer Spencer here in the WTMJ Breaking News Center. And, Nizer, yesterday afternoon, 2 kids right here in Milwaukee have gone missing, and they haven't heard anything yet, have they?
No, they have not. Yes, two children are missing, Jamil Hopkins and her sister Nicole Santiago. They were last seen together on May 3rd, yesterday, near 27th and West Center Street on Milwaukee's northwest side. Jamil is 3 feet tall with ponytails and pink and red beads, last seen in pink and black clothing, and Nicole is 5'6" with short blonde hair and a nose piercing, wearing a black and white hoodie and pink pants. Anyone with information should contact Milwaukee Police District 5. One person is dead after a shooting Saturday afternoon. It took place around 3:20 p.m. near North 24th and West Melvina Street on Milwaukee's northwest side. The 24-year-old victim was fatally shot and died at the scene. A 25-year-old was also shot and is being treated for their wounds. Police continue to search for the suspects. The 151st Kentucky Derby has its winner. 3-year-old Horse Sovereignty took first. She entered the race as one of the favorites to win at 9-1 odds. She was trained by 71-year-old Bill Mott. The winner of the Kentucky Derby received $3.1 million. Taking a look at the roads with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. Doesn't seem to be any major issues or delays. Full freeway speeds across the system.
I'm Brett Matchke, and you're due for service.
Richlawns Tire and Service Centers. 5 locations and all easy to find. Visit richlawns.com when you're due for service.
Here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast today. Increasing clouds with a breeze and high of 56 near the lake, 64 inland. Tonight, slight chance of showers with mostly cloudy and breeze, low of 44. Tomorrow, Monday, chance of showers early in the morning, mostly cloudy, high of 53. Tuesday, mostly sunny and a high of 63 near the lake, 70 inland. Wednesday, partly sunny with a breeze and high of 58 near the lake, 72 inland. Thursday, mostly sunny with a high of 53. Right now in Whitewater, it's 48. In Oak Creek, it's 47. And in Milwaukee, it's 45 degrees. I'm Nazir Spencer, Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 8:31.
Thanks a lot, Nazir. Well, in just 2 minutes, it's the Week in Review, brought to you by Outdoor Living Unlimited.
Affordable glass and mirror home decor ideas will go as far as your style and imagination will take them. But not everyone has the time to think up new ways to make our products work for their home. So here are some ideas that could really take your home style to the next level. A great way to visually enlarge a small space is to add mirrors. We're seeing mirrored closet doors come back in style, but now they call them reflective storage units. And if they're done right, they can be quite appealing. Make your minimal bedroom more expansive looking with a wall of mirrors. Or how about a mirrored backsplash in your kitchen? Mirror front kitchen cabinets look really sleek. If you bring us the milled out cabinet doors, we'll install mirrors and your kitchen gets an instant style upgrade. This is Stacy Sinks with Less's Glass Service. If it's a new glass shower door, fogged or broken insulated glass replacement, or affordable glass and mirror home decor that you've been looking for, you just can't pass on Less's Glass. Less's Glass Service, serving all of southeastern Wisconsin. Find us at lessglassservice.com.
There's an amazing supper club in Wisconsin Dells, Ish Nala, nestled among the pines and perched above the sandstone bluffs of Mirror Lake. The beauty, the history, the service, the food, the fun. Hi, this is Bob Prosser, owner of Ish Nala Supper Club in Wisconsin Dells. I've been a part of Ish Nala since 1973, and I am so proud to continue the tradition that began in 1953. Why not enjoy a brandy old-fashioned in one of our bars, each with a spectacular view overlooking Mirror Lake, or just relax before or after dinner on one of our outdoor decks. Our Ish Nala chefs have prepared your favorites: 24-ounce ribeye, cold water lobster tails, North Atlantic salmon, and of course, Ish Nala's roast duck. Thank you for making Ish Nala Wisconsin's favorite supper club, where the only thing we overlook is Mirror Lake. I'm Bob Prosser, and I want to serve you.
Welcome back to the second half hour of Wisconsin Weekend Morning News. I'm Libby Collins. A little bit later on this half hour, we're going to be talking with Sandy Max. If you haven't gotten any of those films for the Milwaukee Film Festival, you still got a few days left. She's going to tell you about some of her favorites with Milwaukee connections. But before we do anything else, let's take a look back, because there were more MPS schools that have been set to close. The Buck season ended with some fireworks, and there was a sudden change for Kohl's, plus a lot more. It's the Week in Review, brought to you by Outdoor Living Unlimited.
What we do here is go back.
A worker's dead after an industrial accident in New Berlin.
Surprising detail revealed today regarding the plan to release Slender Man stammer Morgan Geyser.
At issue is the proximity of Geyser's planned group home to that of Peyton Leitner.
Literally, these two locations are less than 8 miles from each other.
The Department of Health Services made no attempt to contact our family while drafting Ms. Geyser's release plan.
Milwaukee Public Schools will relocate students at 2 more schools next month.
I can't express my sincere gratitude enough to everyone
everyone for their patience, their understanding, and partnership.
It was a big blow to Milwaukee when the CDC's lead poisoning team was let go. Milwaukee's health commissioner, Dr. Michael Todoritis, had worked with that team for 2 months.
We're actually exploring bringing on some of those staff temporarily.
Wisconsin's first tornado of 2025 touching down late Monday, northwest part of the state.
A funnel cloud was spotted forming near Augusta in Eau Claire County.
Much of the damage from last night's severe weather included downed trees in roadways and in yards like this one here right behind me.
You knew it was right overhead, and so it was very scary.
Russian President Vladimir Putin has announced a 3-day ceasefire in Ukraine from the 8th to the 10th of May.
This is best characterized as a tactical pause from the Russian perspective. That gives them the ability to rearm and refit.
Dr. Kimo Ayoun, by the authority vested in me as chair of the Marquette University Board of Trustees, I hereby install you as the 25th president of Marquette University.
He's the first person of color to lead the university in its 143-year history.
He has the relationships with all the deans. He had a deep relationship with Dr. Lovell.
This is an easy place to come to work every day.
Inbound pass goes to Trent. Trent being badgered, turned it over. Halliburton drives in, gets the shot with a foul. Are you kidding me? A heartbreaker in the end for Milwaukee. And now more pushing and shoving. Giannis is being held back from Mathurin now. I don't know what happened there at the end of this thing, but Giannis is in the middle of it, and clearly his fuse has reached its breaking point.
It was Tyrese dad coming in the floor, and this is what we do, this is what we effing do, this is the F we do. That's very, very disrespectful.
Now you have your son apologizing after having a great game. Like, why would you do that?
Going out on the court, that was wrong. I should have found a way to restrain myself.
I can't take responsibility for something that I didn't do.
Mayor John Nelson addressing several misconduct allegations in front of a full house at the Franklin Public Library Wednesday.
If you had a problem with me, why wasn't it brought forth prior?
50 years ago, the Vietnam War ended, and Operation Baby Lift began. Tim Hoy was 4 months old when he was rescued from a communist orphanage and brought to Wisconsin.
It's very difficult to fathom how they were able to bring children from Vietnam and then placed in various countries around the world.
Deputies in Palm Beach County, Florida, arrested a 22-year-old man this week who investigators say had contact with Natalie Rupp now for months.
There's no doubt in my mind they have stopped a mass shooting.
Milwaukee County Circuit Court Judge Hannah Dugan has temporarily been suspended to perform judge duties in Wisconsin.
In a perfect world, we would have the opportunity to have a courthouse where people would never have to worry about coming there for their activities.
They made her do a perp walk. We didn't even make President Trump do a perp walk.
The recent arrest of a circuit court judge in Milwaukee County on the mind of workers' rights marchers downtown today.
Thousands taking to the streets of Milwaukee on May Day.
We are here to demand the Milwaukee County Circuit Court Judge Hannah Dugan that the charges against her be dropped.
Seems like Kohl's has fired their chief executive officer.
The Wall Street Journal says Buchanan was terminated because of a highly unusual business deal he made with a woman who he was once romantically linked to.
They knew each other from when they both worked at Walmart several years ago.
Please welcome Gorillas. There has been a debate that's made its way across the internet basically all week. Who would win in a fight? 100 men or one gorilla?
I don't think we realize how strong a gorilla is.
I don't think there's any question that 100 men, I mean, we might have some casualties.
What a week.
Trash. Read a book.
Jazz hands.
Take care and goodbye.
Ladies and gentlemen, the weekend.
But they're now talking about Harambe. He was brought down by a 3-year-old. It's that's the Week in Review. It was brought to you by Outdoor Living Unlimited. I'm Libby Collins. Do you like garage sales? How careful are you about what you buy there? Well, we've got some tips for you coming up. It's straight ahead on Wisconsin Weekend Morning News, 8:39, 44 degrees.
Hey, John Mercure here for Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living. Their mission is to transform the culture of care, and they do it every day with compassion and with empathy. They've got locations throughout southeast Wisconsin. I've been to the locations. I love how they treat the people who live there. They specialize in caring for those with early to late-stage Alzheimer's or other related dementia symptoms. They offer early memory loss classes. Wisconsin-based and family-owned. Kindness at the core. It's Azura Living. Check them out at azuraliving.com. It's Azura.
Are you okay?
I'm fine, Nicole. Just fine.
Arvid, what's wrong with Ben?
He's in love. It's true. I'm head over heels in love.
With
Milo.
Who's Milo?
He's talking about the Milo bedroom at Penny Mustard.
You're in love with a bedroom set.
What's not to love? Milo has everything I've ever wanted and more.
Milo certainly is a handsome bedroom.
Rugged and stylish.
Old school and contemporary.
It was love at first sight.
Aw, that's sweet.
Is it, though?
And since Milo is handcrafted from solid wood, we'll always be together.
Actually, the Milo bedroom is built to last for generations.
So you're saying there's someone else?
Well, yes, eventually.
Oh, Milo, how could you?
Fall in love with the Milo bedroom, featuring a platform bed, 6-drawer dresser, mirror, and 3-drawer nightstand, starting at $52.09 at Penny Mustard.
Showrooms in Milwaukee and Chicago.
PennyMustard.com.
Lovable versions of what people want.
Penny Mustard Furnishing.
Loyalty, family. Few things are more important. This is WTMJ's Steve Scafidi and Loyal Family Renovations. They saved the day after a brutal storm in Oak Creek. Hail damage, yeah, I had a lot of it. But Jeff, Jake, and the whole team, absolute pros, made the entire process smooth as can be. Let's be honest, not everyone knows how to deal with adjusters. They handled all the questions, quick answers, top-notch customer service. In just 2 days, my roof was done. If storm damage hits, call the team that made it easy for me. Loyal Family Renovations. Visit loyalfamilyrenovations.com.
It's that time of year. You're driving down the street and all of a sudden you stop suddenly because there's a garage sale. Well, joining us on our Siding Unlimited talk and text line is Michelle Reinen, our consumer expert from DATCAP. And you've got some advice for individuals if they're planning on buying items at those sales.
Absolutely. You can find great deals and very unique merchandise, but we want everyone to keep safety in mind and check for recalls on items that you intend to purchase. Think about what you might be searching for before you head out to that garage sale, but be sure you're asking yourself questions about safety when you're picking up items. Does the item have an electric cord? Is there damage to that cord? Do you see frayed wires? Does the item have chipping paint? Can it be a sign of lead? And this is so important with toys. Does the item contain chemicals that could be toxic, like BPA, PFAS, mercury, lead? And that can be very difficult to examine. So you may want to use some resources to try and help examine those items. If you have small children in the house, is the item you're picking up a potential choking hazard for them? Are there small parts? You know, take a toilet paper roll tube with you, and if you can drop small parts through that, that can be a choking hazard. And consider button cell batteries. Is the compartment they're in secure and inaccessible for little hands? All these details can be looked at ahead of time before making that purchase, but if you don't do it at the garage sale itself, be sure you examine the item before you bring it into the household.
What about things like car seats or baby walkers or some of those bouncers or swings? Would you buy those at a garage sale?
Well, those can have hidden hazards because they could be recalled by the U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission. So while you may want to buy some of them if you're setting up like a second location for a child to stay, maybe grandparents' house, you do need to check to see if the product has been recalled to be sure it is safe for that little one before you put it into use. And you can do that very easily by visiting saferproducts.gov. It's a U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission webpage that lists all the recalls that have ever been issued, and you can search by item type or go ahead and search by brand or manufacturer.
One last question, Michelle. Do you go to garage sales?
You know, there's always a deal to be had. I do visit them occasionally.
And who do we call if we've got any questions at all about our rights as consumers?
Call DATCAP's Consumer Protection Hotline, 1-800-422-7128.
It's 47 degrees at WTMJ at 8:44. You're a minute away from sports.
Visit family-owned Ken Michaels Furniture and our in-store design centers where you'll still find beautiful, luxurious, heirloom-quality American-made furniture. Right now, save 30 to 35% store-wide and take advantage of our complimentary design services. Whether you're moving, renovating, or updating, our designers will help your vision become a reality. Visit Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield on Capitol Drive and in Greenfield on Highway 100 to save 30 to 35% store-wide today. Sleep better and save more with mattresses from Milwaukee Mattress and Ken Michaels Furniture. Handcrafted in our Milwaukee factory, our mattresses utilize natural materials like cotton cushioning, which dissipates body heat, Joma wool quilts for warm wintry nights and cool summer evenings, and natural latex providing superior conformability and pressure relief for aching joints. Stop in today at any Ken Michaels Furniture store and save up to 50% compared to national brands.
Time for a WTMJ sports update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk.
Fly ball hit deep, left center field. Back goes Crow Armstrong onto the track. Wall, see ya later. Rhys Hoskins blasts one into the Brewers bullpen and gets a jolt of life back to Milwaukee with that swing. It's a 5-2 ball game.
And that homer from Rhys Hoskins was not enough to put the Crew over the edge as they lost to the Chicago Cubs yesterday, 6-2. The Crew meet Chicago again today at AmFam. Our coverage gets underway at noon with Brewers warm-up here on WTMJ. And 19 of the world's fastest 3-year-olds ran a muddy track at Churchill Downs yesterday. Sovereignty ran the course in 2 minutes, 2 seconds, edging out favorite Journalism by a length and a half. An interesting note, all 19 horses in the race share a unique bloodline with Triple Crown winner Secretariat. I'm Mark Wart for WTMJ Sports.
Are you aware? Secretariat won the Triple Crown, I think it was back in 1973. So he retired in 1974. Died in 1989. Now, I was able to find some numbers here. The most recent ones I could find were from 2019. So that's 6 years ago. That's right. Before these 19 horses ran in the Derby. And as of 2019, Secretariat's progeny had earned a total of $30,154,305.
Wow.
That was 6 years ago.
That's some high-earning horses.
Oh, something to say about Secretariat?
Good for him.
Good for Secretariat. Yeah, with his 15 years in retirement, did a good job. Okay, it's 8:47. Coming up in just a couple minutes, we've got Sandy Max here. Have you seen the movie Sinners yet? She's going to tell you all about it. It's coming up right here on Wisconsin Weekend Morning News.
When we're out in your town, come say hi as we broadcast live from the Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin mobile studio.
Anytime you hear us when we're on the road, you can find us live from our brand new mobile studio.
Whether it be Summerfest, EAA, Opening Day, Air and Water Show, wherever we may be.
You can see us on the radio, live from the Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin mobile studio.
We are Wisconsin's radio station.
We are Wisconsin's radio station.
We are Wisconsin's radio station.
News Radio 620 WTMJ.
If you need a place for new home interior ideas, then you have to come talk to us. Our on-staff decorators know furniture, home decor, and a lot more. And they're not only creative, but also very willing to help you make great choices. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating taste come to find premium home decor at a value. Design Exchange in Heartland and Pewaukee. Stop in often, because our inventory changes daily.
Design Exchange.
Previously, it has been gently loved. But here, you'll only find very well-conditioned premium home decor items that you likely won't find elsewhere. Distinctive furniture, unique antiques, and original art, and other tasteful home decor at a value. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating taste come to find premium home decor on consignment at 25 to 40% off retail prices in Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange. WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Well, that music reminds me, may the 4th be with you.
And also with you.
And it's Sandy Max from Sunday What's on Tap. And yeah, this is a big day for Star Wars fans.
I love a theme. I love leaning all the way into a fun theme. So if you enjoy the Star Wars franchise, this is your day. Lean all the way into it. Wear your favorite t-shirt. Watch some movies, some TV shows. There's so many different branches off from the original Star Wars movie. Oh, she's doing her Darth Vader impersonation. That's my Chewie.
Your father. It's bad. It's bad.
Yeah, instead of Libby doing Darth and me doing Chewie, why don't you go be around?
You're doing good Chewie, by the way.
Thank you very much. May the 4th, Revisiting The Empire Strikes Back. This afternoon at Kenosha Public Library, the Southwest branch on 38th Street. At 1:30, they're having a free festivity. You can go. They're going to talk about the special effects used in The Empire Strikes Back. So that's a whole hour-long presentation. And the library says, come for the presentation, stay for the anniversary cake. And costumes are welcome.
I bet they are.
Absolutely free. 1:30 at the Kenosha Public Library Southwest branch, embracing the Star Wars fun.
Well, speaking of movies, and this one has just gone through the box office, I think unexpected, is this movie Sinners. And I'm interested to see it. And you've got a little information about that.
Yeah, I'm interested to see it as well. And I'll tell you, even Tom Cruise has called it, quote, a must-see, which I think is interesting when other celebrities who have nothing to do with the film are saying, hey, I'm impressed. This is a must-see movie. So Ryan Coogler, the same man who created Black Panther and the Creed movies, has created this movie called Sinners. And you'll recognize Michael B. Jordan from Creed and Black Panther. He's working again with Ryan Coogler. So Michael B. Jordan plays twin brothers, Smoke and Stack, in this story.
I love that name, Smoke and Stack.
Yes.
Okay, got it.
So the story is kind of when you dance with the devil. It's a vampire horror movie set in the South in the 1930s. But what I think is really interesting about it is it uses music as the power, especially blues music, to connect people, not only in the dancing and celebratory way, but across time. And it leads to vampires.
Ooh.
So this really...
Well, don't spoil it for us.
No, but this is really... Well, I would say if you want to see this movie, I've watched the trailer because the buzz has been so big about this. If you want to see this movie, don't watch anything because in the trailer, there are two people you find out become vampires. And I think...
Well, don't tell me now.
No, not at all. And so that's why I think if you really want to enjoy this film, don't watch the trailer. Just go enjoy the filmmaking. And I think there's a lot to like about it. And this is one of those films where stay through the credits. I'm a big credit watcher.
Yeah.
But there are supposedly 2 scenes in the ending credits that help flesh out the rest of the story. I love the buzz that it is getting. I also love, remember we were talking about Michael B. Jordan portraying twins. Ryan Coogler actually consulted with twins to help Michael B. Jordan really nail down the character of 2 different brothers. So there's that level of research. And then the other thing that's getting a lot of buzz is a really cinematic scene shot even with IMAX cameras in the juke joint. And it takes the audience through different genres of music and of dance to help portray the power of music.
So this sounds like a movie you really want to see in the theater.
I think so. Absolutely. So I love... I've been talking a lot about the Milwaukee Film Festival and smaller films. This is, I think, is going to be a big blockbuster, or at least certainly as now we're into the month of May, this gets us into the big summer blockbuster season. So Sinners, I definitely think is, I'll say, Tom Cruise said it. He says it's a must-see, and I would recommend it. I'm looking forward to seeing it.
Now, you mentioned the Milwaukee Film Festival, and it's got a couple more days left, and there are 2 films with sort of a Milwaukee connection that are going to be playing this week.
With a strong Milwaukee connection. Yeah, Milwaukee Film Festival, 2 weeks, and it ends on Thursday. So check the listings, mkefilm.org. But the 2 documentaries that I can definitely recommend are 25 Cats from Qatar, which doesn't sound like it would be from Milwaukee, but you remember the Sip and Purr Cafe that used to be right around the corner from the
I
Oriental
stayed away
Theater.
from it because I'm allergic.
Oh, no!
No, really, I am. I'm very allergic to cats.
Then that is the perfect reason to
As a matter of fact, was there a cat in the studio here the other day? Because I'm feeling it.
Yes, there was, because I interviewed
You interviewed a kitty.
I interviewed Mai Huang, who directed 25 Cats from Qatar, and Katie McHugh, who owns the Sip and Purr Cat Cafe that has just reopened this past week on Brady Street. But they have big windows, so even if you don't want to go in and get allergic, you can still watch the adoptable kitties inside the Sip and Purr Cat Cafe. But yeah, I interviewed them, and Nero, the ambassador cat, came into the WTMJ studio.
I knew a cat had been here.
You can watch that on the WTMJ YouTube live stream if you want to catch up on Sweet Nero the cat. But the film is fascinating. It takes you to the country of Qatar, which I don't know that I will ever get there in my worldly travels, but it follows Katie as she rescues street kitties and kitties that other kind-hearted souls have rescued around the world and brings them back to Milwaukee so they can be adopted because those other countries don't have the animal welfare system that we do have here in the States. There are people who will just dump pets when they go on summer vacation instead of getting a sitter or taking care of them. So these kitties, and especially if you're a home cat and you're on the streets, you don't have those survival instincts either with other cats or humans or cars. So it's really interesting to follow Katie on this journey to Qatar and see how you bring back 25 cats and carriers on an airplane. That in itself is a logistical feat.
When can we see that?
Wednesday at 4 o'clock at the Oriental Theater is your last chance to see 25 cats from Qatar on the big screen.
Ooh, and then there's another one, real quick. Brady Street, Portrait of a Neighborhood.
A wonderful documentary tracing the history of a signature street in our city from the 1800s to today, the evolution of the nationalities that have lived on the street, interviewing people from Gloriosos. And the other thing I love about this local documentary is it's a UW-Milwaukee project. A faculty member worked with students for several semesters to really capture this history and preserve it in a really entertaining way. So Brady Street, Portrait of a Neighborhood. Today at 12:30, you can see it at the Downer Theater. And the last chance to see Brady Street, Portrait of a Neighborhood on the big screen is Wednesday at 8:30 at the Downer.
So, Sandy, what's on tap on your show this week?
Well, we were just talking about the Oriental Theater. Right across the street is Von Trier, one of the best authentic German beer halls with a beer garden in the back, painted like Germany inside. Well, it almost closed a few years ago, and the whole public was like, no. So we saved it. Well, they have new owners. And this week, they're going to have a great big celebration and a temporary closing for remodeling party, and then opening. And so I'm going to be investigating and hopefully interviewing somebody from Von Trier to find out what the evolution will be under the new ownership and how they're going to preserve yet another slice of Milwaukee history right there at the Von Trier German Beer Hall.
And you'll be getting in the mood for your trip that's taking place a little bit later on this year.
Oh, yeah. You can email me, sandy@WTMJ.com, if you want to come on my European brewery tour.
She's everywhere. Sandy
Prost!
Max with What's on Tap. Thanks for being here today.
Thanks, Libby.
It's 8:57. You saw that movie about the cats, right, Isaac?
I didn't see the movie about the cats. I saw a couple other things at the film festival, but I did learn a fun fact about 25 Cats from Qatar.
And what is that?
It's that friend of the show, Samer Ghani, was the still photographer for that movie. So when you go to the film festival and you see all the cardboard standees of the cats from the movie, he took those pictures.
Of cats.
Of cats.
Okay, well, you can hear Samar's interview on WTMJ Conversations. It's posted at WTMJ.com/conversations, along with a lot of other interesting people we've featured over the last several years. All right, it's, 8:58, 49 degrees. We've got increasing clouds today. It's going to be breezy. We're going to get up to about 64 inland, 56 if you're near the lake.
Filet mignon isn't as cheap as chopped steak. But while they last, you can buy high-end Beautyrest Black and Sealy Posturepedic mattresses for nowhere near high-end prices. Hasseless Mattress is clearing out a handful of premium floor models, like a Beautyrest Black LX Hybrid was $3,599, but now it's just $971. Only a few remain, and they will sell out. Find an employee-free showroom near you at Hasseless.com.
Coming up after the news, it's the Pope, Bill Belichick's girlfriend, and Prince Harry. Well, we'll tell you all about it coming up on Wisconsin Weekend Morning News.
Here's why you can feel confident in choosing Less's Glass to fabricate and install your new shower door or glass bath enclosure. For over 40 years, we've done thousands of them. And when you want a new and modern aesthetic added to your bathroom, you want a crew with experience behind it. We fabricate new shower doors or bath enclosures to fit any space of your bathroom. All done in-house, and that's great for quality control. It could be a neo-angle shower stall, a corner enclosure, a bypass for your tub or shower, or a heavy 3/8-inch all-glass enclosure. Any idea you have, framed or frameless, we can handle it. And when you work with a family-owned company, the buck stops here, because we're not satisfied until you are. This is Stacy Sinks with Less's Glass Service. If it's a new glass shower door, fogged or broken insulated glass replacement, or affordable glass and mirror home decor that you've been looking for, you just can't pass on Less's Glass. Less's Glass Service, serving all of southeastern Wisconsin. Find us at lessglassservice.com.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here. Thinking about curb appeal. A few changes can make a huge difference in your yard. I got the difference maker for you. Landworks Wisconsin. They specialize in bringing your landscaping dreams to life. They did that in our yard. From refreshing your existing gardens to creating entirely new outdoor environments, they did both those things for us. Think gorgeous new plantings, inviting pathways, expertly designed spaces to relax and entertain. Don't wait. Call Landworks or visit landworkswisconsin.com. Let's make your yard the envy of the neighborhood.
The Brewers are back home to take on the dreaded Chicago Cubs.
This is a fly ball into shallow left center. This is going to be trouble, though. Going out there is Terang, and he reaches up, and he made the catch in shallow center, saving a run.
Our coverage of the I-94 rivalry starts today at noon with Brewers warm-up. We are your home for the Milwaukee Brewers. 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
At 9 o'clock, it's 43 degrees in Milwaukee today, increasing clouds with a breeze and a high of 56 near the lake and 64 inland tonight with a low of 44. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Nazir Spencer. Warren Buffett announced Saturday he would retire as the CEO and chairman of the trillion-dollar conglomerate Berkshire Hathaway at the end of 2025. CBS News business and technology correspondent Joe Ling Kent has more.
94-year-old Warren Buffett shocked tens of thousands of people at his annual shareholders meeting in Omaha, divulging his plans to retire as CEO of Berkshire Hathaway at the end of the year.
The time has arrived where Greg should become the chief executive officer of the company at year end.
This has always been Buffett's plan. Vice Chair Greg Abel was designated as a successor years ago.
Warren Buffett is the fifth richest person on earth. Kohl's CEO Ashley Buchanan was fired on May 1st. An internal investigation revealed he violated company policies by directing business to a vendor linked to a personal relationship. Timothy Gibbons, editor-in-chief at the Milwaukee Business Journal, tells WTMJ's Weekend Morning News.
The CEO had a relationship with the consultant who this contract is with and did not disclose that to his employer. That consultant has also lost her job because she had not disclosed to the consulting company higher-ups that she had been in a romantic relationship with Buchanan.
Board member Michael Bender has been named interim CEO as Kohl's begins their new search for their new leader. Lighting up a Milwaukee landmark, the Hone Bridge will light up red in honor of the two Wisconsin firefighters who lost their lives in 2024. The firefighters recognized are Doran Kemp, the second of the Milwaukee Fire Department, and the paramedic Tyler Creeder of the Green Bay Metro Fire Department. The lighting will be preceded by a reading of their service history and a moment of silence at 8 p.m. tonight. The next series of the weekend closures through mid-June may be a bit complicated for overnight commuters along I-43.
As part of the ongoing I-43 project, the DOT is letting everybody know about some upcoming longer-than-usual overnight closures between Brown Street and Capitol Drive. Each weekend, one direction of northbound or southbound will be closed roughly between 10 p.m. and 8 a.m., and one lane will remain closed until about 10 a.m. on Saturday and Sunday mornings. There will be posted detours available if you don't want to deal with the delays. And as always, all the work is weather dependent. Debbie Loziga, WTMJ News.
Welcoming the first peregrine falcon chicks of 2025.
We Energies confirms the babies were born to parents Essity and Joel Friday morning at the Oak Creek Power Plant. 2 more eggs are expected to hatch from their nest at any time, with 10 more expected to hatch this spring. Voting on names for the chicks ends May 8th. So far, 453 peregrine falcons have hatched at We Energies and WPS facilities since the program started in the 1990s. Sean Brinda, WTMJ News.
Roughly 1 week after the NFL draft, roughly 20 rookies are gathered in Green Bay for a 2-day minicamp.
The best time of the year is when our players are in the building.
Packers head coach Matt LaFleur's plan for the rookies is intentional.
You just want to get them acclimated as fast as possible because the next time that they're in here, it's going to be phase 2 and they're going to be in with the vets.
Draftees and undrafted rookie free agents make up the pool of players in Green Bay.
Try to get these guys a taste of what's to come and knock off the jitters a little bit. All these guys are amped up.
Greg Matzik, WTMJ News.
The Packers begin full team activities in late May. Sports traffic and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 9:04.
Sponsored by AccuNet Mortgage.
AccuNet Mortgage Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
Flimsy, feeble, flaccid. That's how you can describe most pre-approval letters these days, because most banks still issue pre-approval letters without actually verifying your income, employment, or down payment. That's the exact opposite of an Accunet rock-solid, fully verified and guaranteed pre-approval, where we put a $2,000 guarantee behind the fact the seller can actually rely on the terms of your pre-approval and offer. With Accunet, there's also a possibility of issuing a property-specific pre-approval with as little as a 10% down payment that includes the magic words, "no appraisal required." That's right, Accunet may be able to issue your pre-approval without needing an appraisal. That's the kind of certainty that can help a seller say yes to your offer. Sure, you can try competing with a flimsy bank pre-approval, or you can click on the blue button at Accunet.com and get started with the pre-approval listing agents and sellers recognized as the best in the business. That's ACCUNET.com.
Save big on everything for your next project when you shop at Menards. Dutch Boys Durafighter is a premium interior paint and primer in one with a tough, lasting formula. It provides great scrub resistance and durability with remarkable hide and a smooth finish. Save big on Dutch Boys Durafighter paint at Menards and start your next project today. Plus, check out our weekly flyer on Menards.com for more great deals happening this week.
Save big money at Menards.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano here for Shopco Optical. Get eyewear for everything you do at Shopco Optical. Schedule your annual comprehensive eye exam, check out new frame styles, and order your annual supply of contact lenses all in one place. Enjoy the time and attention your eyes deserve at Shopco Optical. Receive quality eye care and a personalized vision solution tailored to your specific vision and lifestyle needs. Call Shopco Optical or visit shopco.com to schedule an appointment at a location nearest you.
Time for a WTMJ sports update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. The Brewers lose to the Chicago Cubs from American Family Field, losing 6-2. The Brewers continue their series with the Cubs later today at 1:15. You can listen to the action right here on 620 WTMJ. The Milwaukee Admirals lose against the Rockford Ice Hogs in Game 2 of the AHL Central Division semifinals. The puck drops for the Admirals again May 7th at 7 p.m. Taking a look at the roads with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. Doesn't seem to be any issues or delays at full freeway speeds across the system.
Traffic is sponsored by St. Vincent de Paul Thrift Stores.
St. Vincent de Paul Thrift Stores. Highway 100 and Layton Avenue in Greenfield. 23rd and Lincoln and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee. Great bargains and a great cause. You're gonna love it. St. Vincent de Paul Thrift Stores.
Here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast today. Increasing clouds with the breeze, high of 56 near the lake, 64 inland. And tonight, slight chance of showers, mostly cloudy and breezy with a low of 44. Tomorrow, Monday, chance for showers in the morning, mostly cloudy with a high of 53. Tuesday, mostly sunny and a high of 63 near the lake, 70 inland. Wednesday, partly sunny with a breeze, high of 58 near the lake, 72 inland. Thursday, mostly sunny with a high of 53. Right now in Madison, it's 50. In Green Bay, it's 53. In Waukesha, it's 49. And in Milwaukee, it's 43 degrees. I'm Nazir Spencer, Outdoor Living, Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 9:07.
This is Wisconsin's Weekend Morning News with Libby Collins. And now it's time for New at 9.
Well, if you are by any chance watching the show streaming live on YouTube, WTMJ.com, and the WTMJ mobile app, you're probably seeing this right now. It's a picture of our president, Donald Trump, as the Pope. See that one, Nizer?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
just talked about that one. The internet blew up about that one.
I am speechless.
Yeah.
Completely speechless. Now, Vice President Vance, who just happened to be one of the last people to actually meet the Pope in person, he says it's not a big deal. He says it's a joke. It's a joke.
It's a little too soon for that type of joke, you think, right?
No, yeah, actually. Lindsey Graham, he also says that you have to, you have to make sure that you keep your head down and plow forward. He says it's just one of those things that President Trump has done. He says he supports him as head of the Catholic Church.
Interesting.
He said that on X too. Yeah.
Interesting.
I think somebody's trolling somebody.
Yeah, it has to be.
Yeah, it's been a quiet week
For sure.
for Donald Trump. Okay. That's such a quiet week, though, for Bill Belichick's 24-year-old girlfriend, Jordan Hudson. Now, you were working last week, Nizer. So I don't suppose you saw that interview that aired on CBS Morning News. Oh, you did?
Yes, I did see it. It was very interesting. The reporter asked, how'd you guys meet?
And we've got that.
Right.
We've got that right now. So let's hear how they met.
You have Jordan right over there. Everybody in the world seems to be following this relationship. They've got an opinion about your private life. It's got nothing to do with them, but they're invested in it. How do you deal with that?
Never been too worried about what everybody else thinks. Just try to do what I feel like is best for me and what's right.
How did you guys meet?
Not talking about this.
No?
No.
Of course, she's 24 years old.
Yep, around my age, yep.
I'm
23, so
okay. Okay, and she was a cheerleader.
Yep.
She's got a type, though.
Yeah, seems like it, yeah.
Because Bill Belichick is what, 72 or 73?
73, I believe, and then she was with another 62-year-old before.
No, he was 64.
64, okay.
His name was Joshua Zuckerman.
Yeah.
And you know what he did for a living?
What?
Ran a nursing home.
Yep.
You know what I really find interesting about Jordan? Because I guess she is going to compete in the Miss USA pageant as Miss May coming up in the next few weeks. Her father was a fisherman, and do you know what her mother does for a living?
What's that?
She runs a sex toy museum.
Oh, well, there you go.
Okay. Now, also this week, and this, oh gosh, I don't even know why. I don't know why I'm watching this. But I did. Prince Harry came out with like a 30-minute interview on the BBC after he lost that 5-year court case involving British taxpayers footing the bill for his security. Mm-hmm. Did you ever see the South Park thing with...
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, I want my privacy.
Yep.
Privacy tour. All right. Well, anyway, here's what Prince Harry told the BBC.
There are decisions that have been made. There are things that have happened since 2016, especially throughout my whole life. But let's just stick since 2016. There are things that have happened that I can now forgive. I have moved past that. I can forgive my family's involvement, my father, my brother, and my stepmother.
You're 40 years old, Harry. You're 40 years old, and you are blaming everybody in your life, your brother, your father, your stepmother, for all the problems that you've brought onto yourself. And I mean, talk about holding on to something.
Right.
He's going back to 2016 and all his life.
Been 9 years, my friend.
But then he threw in all my life. You know what the real problem is?
What's that?
It's the wrong girl. Yeah, which I think maybe Bill Belichick should probably look back to. But his real problems began when he married Meghan Markle.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's the thing. But wine. And the fact that he's, I could forgive my father. I could forgive my brother. I could forgive my stepmother, who at one point I think he called his evil stepmother.
Called him evil,
yeah. What really gets me on that, he wrote a book, for crying out loud, that detailed everything his family may have ever done in
book.
his life. Yeah. And, he's done countless interviews, including the thing with Oprah and all of this stuff. And he's going to forgive them.
Yeah. I mean, very interesting people we're talking about here.
If your brother wrote a book like that about you,
it'd be very hard for me to, interact with him any longer after that, I feel like.
Oh, you think?
Yeah.
I mean, I think the real problem is his father probably should have smacked him around at some point.
Yeah,
anyway, that's what's going on at 9 o'clock this morning on a Sunday. It is 9:13. Nazir will be back with us in about 15 minutes. With other things going on around Milwaukee on a Sunday morning. We've got Isaac Marquardt here. He's coming up with sports in just a couple of minutes. But that weather today, it's going to be cloudy, breezy. Going to get up to about 56 if you're near the lake. 64 inland. It is 49 degrees at 9:13 on WTMJ.
Hey, John Mercure here for Guthrie and Fry Water Conditioning. My reverse osmosis system in my house is fantastic. The water I drink, the water we feed the dogs, the water we cook with is crisp, clean, and clear thanks to Guthrie and Fry's RO system. It's technology that's been around for a long time, but it's the best in the business, and Guthrie and Fry will get it to you. It's affordable, it's effective, and you'll feel a lot better. It's all about the science. Southeast Wisconsin's #1 choice, and my choice is Guthrie and Fry Water Conditioning.
Better water makes a big difference. Guthrie and Fry.
We didn't write the headline, the Wall Street Journal did. The days of set and forget investing just ended for many Americans. Economic uncertainty and global unrest. It's a wake-up call. Standard financial advice is to avoid making rash decisions during market turmoil. But retirement planning isn't a set it and forget it process anymore. That's where Annex Wealth Management comes in. As fee-only fiduciaries, we craft personalized plans that adapt as needed. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Head to annexwealth.com and click the Get Started button.
You know the voice.
Fly ball, right field, out of here!
You know the iconic calls.
Fly ball, deep right! Back to back!
And you know he's our Brewers 360 guest on Wisconsin's Morning News. Every Wednesday at 8:45. It's Brewers broadcaster Jeff Levering. Brewers 360 is sponsored by Outdoor Living Unlimited and Big Fish Contracting.
When your car or truck needs service, you should take it to a specialist. I'm Jim Token, president of the Auto Dealers Association of Metro Milwaukee. At a member, new car dealers have factory warranted parts, the latest diagnostic equipment, and certified manufacturer technicians. Plus, their prices are as low or lower than independent shops, even on routine things like oil changes and tire service. Knowing all that, why would you ever consider going anywhere other than an Adam member dealer?
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. The Brewers lost to the Cubs again yesterday, 6-2. What's the problem? Well, here's what Pat Murphy had to say.
We do have 6 really relatively inexperienced players in our lineup, but it seems like we've misplaced our edge a little bit. We don't have the confidence, not playing with the confidence, but I know who these people are, so I'm confident they will find it. Just a little shocked that we've misplaced that edge a little bit.
The Crew meet Chicago again today at AmFam. Our coverage gets underway at noon with Brewers warm-up with Dominic Cotroneo here on WTMJ. And 19 of the world's fastest 3-year-olds ran a muddy track at Churchill Downs yesterday. Sovereignty ran the course in 2 minutes, 2 seconds, edging out Favorite Journalism by a length and a half. Interesting note, all 19 horses share a unique bloodline with Triple Crown winner Secretariat. I'm Mark Wart with WTMJ Sports.
It's 9:17 on WTMJ. Yep, looks like got some clouds out there. Not going to have any rain until later on this evening, so watch out for that. It is 50 degrees at 9:17.
Hey, it's Jason Wilde for Excel Custom Decks. I'm the football guy, definitely not the outdoor home projects guy. So when it comes to things like deck building, Excel Custom Decks is the true go-to expert. Family owned and operated, Excel Custom Decks uses the finest materials and products and combines that with superior craftsmanship. If you want your outdoor area to shine this summer, contact Excel Custom Decks now. Whatever you dream up for that perfect deck, pergola, or outdoor kitchen, Rob and his family can build it. Excel Custom Decks, decking excellence by design. Visit excelcustomdecks.com today.
Bev Anderson has a big idea she wants to share.
Bev has been here for 24 years.
Hi, Bev. We're anxious to hear your idea.
Kessler's is 45 years old this year. Monica, remember when your dad used to say in every radio ad, "I'm Richard Kessler, and I want to be your jeweler"?
I never got to hear that.
Yeah, and then Rick would say,
Kessler's Diamonds, inconveniently located on Appleton Avenue, Menominee Falls.
Inconveniently?
Richard said it was inconvenient for people to have to drive all the way to Menominee Falls, so he might as well admit it.
Bev, tell us your idea.
Richard said something else in almost every ad, and I think we should start saying it again because it's really important.
Tell us.
We do diamonds better because diamonds are what we do.
I love that.
Fantastic idea, Bev.
Kessler's Diamonds.
We do diamonds better because diamonds are what we do.
For the location nearest you, visit Kessler'sDiamonds.com.
Over 60 years in business, with over 60 vehicles out in the field so we can respond ultra quickly to your emergency AC needs. When you call Quality for emergency AC service, you can count on a swift response to get the job done right away. So if the heat's got you to the point where it's just too hot to handle, call Quality and we'll get you the signature service you deserve.
Call Quality for the signature service you deserve.
Call Quality. Heating, cooling, plumbing, and electric. When you need commercial or residential plumbing service, you need it now. Call Quality. We have over a 60-year track record of taking care of people. And with over 60 vehicles ready to respond to your needs, we'll be there in a hurry, so you won't have to worry. This is Anthony Zaneski. For commercial or residential plumbing service, call Quality and get the signature service you deserve.
Call Quality for the signature service you deserve.
Call Quality. Heating, cooling, plumbing, and electric.
9:20, and it's time to recognize another everyday hero. Here's WTMJ's Eric Bilston.
An everyday hero is defined as an average John or Jane Doe who had no idea when they got up one morning they'd be saving a life. Today we head to Bundeena, Australia. Gunya Beach. Blake Donaldson and his girlfriend were enjoying a quiet day on the beach. Very few people were there. It was very serene. When all of a sudden, they heard a woman scream. She was about 30 feet offshore.
I started crying. I said, please help me.
Why was Manny Zhang crying and calling for help? Because, she tells 60 Minutes Australia, she had just been mauled by a bull shark. Her leg bleeding profusely.
From the blood, the amount of blood coming out, I didn't actually see the shark.
Manny's losing a lot of blood, struggling to keep conscious.
For that moment, I think I probably will die.
So Blake hears the screams, and he can tell that she's in trouble. So, what does he do?
I just made the decision. Sure, there could be a shark, but my reaction was I just have to save this woman. I wasn't thinking about the shark. I wasn't thinking about my own safety. I just can't watch this woman drown.
Blake goes in. He jumps on a paddleboard, kicks on out there into the bloody shark-infested water.
It's either you just watch someone drown or you go out and help them. Like, a couple seconds could mean someone's life.
Blake was able to reach the woman and pull Manny onto the board. He kicked back for his life to get them to shore. And remember, she was like 30 feet out there. So they get back, and Blake's girlfriend starts a tourniquet on Manny's leg. And she's in rough shape. Her leg is bit up, but she's alive, thanks to Blake.
You know, they say you're a hero. I don't think about it, but then it sort of does hit you and makes you realize that you did save someone.
That's right, Blake. You did. You are an everyday hero. 60 Minutes Australia did a really nice piece on the story, how these two had a reunion later. Text the word hero to the WTMJ Talkin' text line 855-616-1620, and we will send you that story. Everyday Hero, sponsored by Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living, transforming the culture of care. Eric Bilstead, WTMJ News.
Thanks a lot, Eric. It is 9:22 and 49 degrees at WTMJ.
The following is a paid presentation. Advice and opinions expressed during the Sunday Sip are solely that of the hosts or guests and not WTMJ Radio or Good Karma Brands Milwaukee, LLC.
I'm John Burke here, excited to be joined on the Sunday Sip by my two friends, Jeff and Cynthia Gillane. They are the founders and the owners of Vita Hearing Care. Thank you so much for being here with us.
Well, thank you, John.
Thanks for having us.
It's great to see you guys. First off, I want to say that I can actually hear you better because I have my state-of-the-art hearing aids in right now, and I don't go anywhere without them, and they've really, really changed my life. So as a customer and somebody who trusts you guys, I want to say thank you because you've made a difference for me.
Well, you're sincerely welcome, John. We appreciate the opportunity to help you live a better quality of life through better hearing.
And you have. I'm going to say this throughout the thing, but just so people know, it's VitaHearingCare.com, V-I-T-A, VitaHearingCare.com. That's where you can check it out. I want to start, Cynthia, with that sort of question. How cool is it, how rewarding is it that you change people's lives? You give them healthier and happier lives.
It means so much. There's so many different careers and jobs you could have, but having one that makes a difference in people's lives, that brings them closer to the family and keeps them connected to the world around them instead of in isolation is the best thing. And it's the only job that comes with hugs.
Oh, I like that. That's it. And I've had a couple of those hugs. You're right about that.
We do get a lot of hugs, don't we?
I think my wife gave you a big hug because she knows I can hear better.
Yeah, she did. I mean, that's the impact that better hearing has. It's not only on the individual, but it's on their loved ones, right?
You're absolutely right. I'm glad we're having the discussion now because May is Better Hearing Month. Better Hearing Month. When you hear that term and you think about the difference that this can make, tell me about Better Hearing Month and why we need to think about that.
Better Hearing Month was originally created back in the 1920s. It's really designed to bring awareness to the community.
It's more than just communicating. It's a whole stream of health issues that are associated. It's emotional stuff. It's cognitive. There are physical manifestations. I want to talk about the cognitive because this really strikes for me when you've talked to me about this in the past. There's good research that shows that if you can't hear, cognitive decline is a real thing that's more likely to happen, right?
That is so very true. The initial research came out back in 2011, by Johns Hopkins Medicine. And what they found was there was a relationship between hearing loss, untreated hearing loss, and cognitive decline or dementia, if we want to be frank about it. It's dementia. So ever since that was initially released, they've continued to do more and more studies. And they came out with a study, I think it was last year, it was the Achieve study. They partnered up with a manufacturer of hearing aids. They studied over 4,000 people, and they actually found during that study that untreated hearing loss is a cause of dementia.
Wow, a cause.
A cause of dementia. And it is the number one modifying cause. In other words, we can modify that cause by treating the hearing loss.
So get it treated. Get in and get it treated. There's locations in Mount Pleasant and Waterford. I've been to the offices. They're fantastic. They're friendly. They're warm. Start at the website, vitahearingcare.com, VITA hearingcare.com. How cool is it, Cynthia, that you have two offices, you treat people at both, and you make it easy when you can make a difference in somebody's life? How cool is that?
We love it.
And the hugs come in.
Yes, the hugs come in, and if you visit us in Mount Pleasant, you sometimes even get to see the puppy.
Yes, I
That's
saw
our
the
chief
puppy.
mascot officer. So we try to make things friendly. We try to treat our patients as if they're family.
It's a local family-owned business, which is really important. They're going to make it easy. The hours are very flexible. You can get on in there. You can call to schedule an appointment. I want to ask you about the mission statement that I saw in the office, La Dolce Vita, the sweet life. Can you explain how that ties into all of this?
Sure, honey, go ahead.
Go ahead, Cynthia.
Go ahead, Cynthia.
My dad watches a lot of Italian TV. And when I go down to visit them, I am constantly hearing vita, 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 which stands for life. And when we give you back your hearing, we give you back your life. La Dolce Vita, the sweet life. So I couldn't think of any better way or mission to have for a hearing aid company. And it is so, so important to us.
It's so true, and life is sweeter with better hearing. There's just no doubt about that. All right, Jeff, how easy is the process?
Well, the process is very easy. You pick up the phone, you give us a call. We'll schedule you an appointment to come in and visit one of our clinics. Well, then you come in and get to see me or my employee out in Waterford. We'll go through the history of, what kind of problems you're having with understanding speech or whatever it might be. We'll also talk to whoever you brought along because I think it's really important to bring somebody along. Don't you agree, Cynthia?
Yes, definitely. Because a lot of times hearing loss is something you don't notice as it's happening a lot of times, but the people around you notice it before you do. So having that other person come can sometimes, if the one person's in denial, can kind of give us the full picture of what's going on instead of just half the story of what's going on.
That's such a great point. My wife was there, and she was there for the testing. She was there for the fitting. She was there for the whole process. That's a really good point.
It's really important to bring somebody along. So once we go through that, then we do the actual test, and we determine whether you need hearing help in the form of hearing instruments. Once we find out if you need hearing devices, John, then as you know, we will demonstrate them. So we'll demonstrate them. We'll use your significant other's voice because a lot of people have high-frequency hearing loss or they're missing out on consonant sounds in our language. But that's also where women speak. high frequencies. So using a woman's voice is really great. And we find out that that works in the office. Well, then we talk about options to go forward with permanent health through purchase of hearing devices if that's what's needed.
It's quick, it's easy, it's efficient, it's affordable, all those things. It's Better Hearing Month coming up, so make sure you do it now. Now's the time to really get into one of the two locations, Mount Pleasant and Waterford. Start this way. This is the easiest way to start. The website, VitaHearingCare.com, VITA hearingcare.com. All the details are there, including phone numbers and some great graphics. VitaHearingCare.com. Take care of your hearing because you'll be taking care of yourself and your family if you do that. Jeff and Cynthia Gillane, the founders of Vita Hearing Care, thank you so much for being with us.
Well, thank you, John. Thank you for having us. Yeah, we had a great time here today. Thank you.
It's 9:29 coming up in just 2 minutes. Isaiah Spencer's in the WTMJ Breaking News Center with news about 2 missing children in Milwaukee.
So if you're already in a relationship with an auto service center, that's great. We hope things keep firing on all cylinders.
But if you're not in a relationship, why not book your next date with us at Richlands the next time you're due for service?
All of our locations are AAA approved and staffed by ASC certified technicians with PhDs in
We can fix anything! Put that on top of the friendliest, hardest working staff you'll ever meet inside a tire and service center.
and you've got yourself a rock-solid date.
The next time you're due for factory scheduled maintenance,
Or tires, brakes, and suspension service.
book your date at richlawns.com.
Or just Google us. But remember, Richlands is spelled with 2 N's.
And oh yeah, be safe, buckle up, and hey.
Always make sure you have good tread on your tires. I'm Courtney Matchke with Richlands, and you're due for a date.
Clever.
Richland's Tire and Service, such a refreshing change. Richland's.
First class isn't as cheap as Coach, and you can't buy Prada for a fruit of the loom price. But while they last, you can buy high-end Beauty Rest Black and Sealy Posturepedic mattresses for nowhere near high-end prices. Hasseless Mattress is clearing out a handful of premium floor models. These are the best of the best, and now you can get them for way less. Like a Beauty Rest Black LX Hybrid was $3,599, but now it's just $971. Or a Sealy Posturepedic Golden Acres Pillow Top was $1,093, but the floor model is just $546. Visit any employee-free, hassleless showroom and test your favorite floor model without salespeople breathing down your neck. You won't find these mattresses priced this low anywhere else. It's like buying a Lamborghini for $10,000 just because it sat on the showroom floor. Only a few floor models are available at each Hasseless mattress location, and when they're gone for good. Find an employee-free showroom near you at Hasseless.com.
Well, it's 9:31, and we've got Isaiah Spencer in the WTMJ Breaking News Center. And have they found those kids yet?
Missing children are missing Jamil Hopkins and her sister Nicole Santiago. They were last seen together on May 3rd near 27th and West Center Street on Milwaukee's northwest side. Jamil is 3 feet tall with ponytails and pink and red beads, last seen in pink and black clothing. Nicole is 5'6", with short blonde hair and a nose piercing, wearing a black and white hoodie and pink pants. Anyone with information should contact Milwaukee Police District 5. One person is dead after a shooting Saturday afternoon. It took place around 3:20 p.m. near North 24th and West Melvina Street on Milwaukee's northwest side. The 24-year-old victim was fatally shot and died at the scene. A 25-year-old was also shot and is being treated for their wounds. Police continue to search for suspects. Taking a look at the roads with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. No major issues, no major delays, and full freeway speeds across the system.
Traffic is sponsored by Tehan Greenhouses in Oak Creek. Buy direct and local for all your garden plants.
Come quick to Tehan Greenhouses in Oak Creek for the best selection on blooming hanging baskets, deck planters, annuals, perennials, and vegetable plants. Tehan Greenhouses in Oak Creek. Buy direct.
Here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast today. Increasing clouds with a breeze and high of 56 near the lake, 64 inland. 29, slight chance of showers and mostly cloudy and breeze, and a low of 44 tonight. Monday, chance for showers early in the morning, mostly cloudy throughout the day, and a high of 53. Tuesday, mostly sunny, high of 63 near the lake and 70 inland. Wednesday, partly cloudy, or partly sunny, and breezy, and a high of 58 near the lake and 72 inland. Thursday, mostly sunny, and a high of 53. Right now in La Crosse, it's 57. In Brown Deer, it's 50, and in Milwaukee, it's 44 degrees. I'm Nazir Spencer, Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 9:33.
Nazir, did you ever think about being a teacher?
I have not, no.
Yeah, it's a tough job.
No, yeah.
And coming up in just a couple minutes, we're going to be talking with the executive director for Teach for America Milwaukee about some of the challenges Milwaukee school teachers face. It's all coming up on Wisconsin Weekend Morning News.
There's an amazing supper club in Wisconsin Dells, Ish Nala, nestled among the pines and perched above the sandstone bluffs of Mirror Lake. The beauty, the history, the service, the food, the fun. Hi, this is Bob Prosser, owner of Ishnala Supper Club in Wisconsin Dells. I've been a part of Ishnala since 1973, and I am so proud to continue the tradition that began in 1953. Why not enjoy a brandy old-fashioned in one of our bars, each with a spectacular view overlooking Mirror Lake, or just relax before or after dinner on one of our outdoor decks. Our Ishnala chefs have prepared your favorites: 24-ounce ribeye, cold water lobster tails, North Atlantic salmon, and of course, Ishnala's roast duck. Thank you for making Ishnala Wisconsin's favorite supper club, where the only thing we overlook is Mirror Lake. I'm Bob Prosser, and I want to serve you.
Do you enjoy researching sofas before you buy?
No.
Do you compare product ratings?
No way.
Are you interested in knowing everything about your new sofa?
Absolutely not. I just want the best sofa, period.
Sounds like you want the SB261 sofa from Penny Mustard.
If it's the best sofa, then yes, that's the one.
It's our #1 bestseller.
Fine.
The SB261 sofa has a classic, exquisite look.
Great.
I've never heard anybody say a negative word about it.
I'm sold.
If the SB261 sofa was in high school, it would be voted homecoming queen and king.
I'm ready to buy.
5 stars, A+, and everyone's thumbs are up.
Stop talking and take my money.
The SB261 sofa, American made with solid wood frame, individual seat springs, unsmooshable Qualex Ultra Foam, and thousands of fabric and leather options, starting at $29.30 at Penny Mustard.
Showrooms in Milwaukee and Chicago.
PennyMustard.com.
The best versions of what people want.
Penny Mustard Furnishing.
And welcome back to the final half hour of Wisconsin Weekend Morning News. I'm Libby Collins. Well, Teacher Appreciation Week begins today, and being a teacher can be rewarding, but also has its challenges, especially if you're in the city of Milwaukee. Well, joining us on our Siding Unlimited talk and text line is Michael Wynn. He is Executive Director of Teach for America Milwaukee. You know, MPS has multiple issues like lead exposure in school buildings, staff shortages, disciplinary issues. What else are teachers facing, especially in the city of Milwaukee, Michael?
Teachers are waking up having to be not just the teacher in the classroom, but as you noted, resources can be low in Milwaukee schools, in the district and in the other sectors. And folks are the teacher, sometimes they're the nurse, sometimes they're the guidance counselor, and they have to wear many different hats because for many students, the teacher is the main adult that they see every day. As we take a look at a Teacher Appreciation Week and not just think about the week itself, but how we can engage with teachers throughout the year, you know, there are personal things we could do on the day-to-day, and there are places we can show up, articles we can read that are keeping us aware of how schools are resourced and how teachers are supported to best serve kids every day.
You said something I found very interesting, and that is that teacher might be the only adult that student talks to in a given day. Does that mean that there are a lot of parents that just are not supportive of their children and their education?
It illuminates the need for parents, guardians, teachers, and our school systems to work in concert so that our students see parents, families, and schools as a support unit. It's helpful for parents and guardians to check in on the teacher and say, hey, what are we working on? I know some of our Teach for America core members send home notes and letters for when big tests are coming up. And our ability to stay tuned into what's happening in the classroom helps the teacher see that we're all partners in this, and we all have the interest of our children at heart.
What happens when a teacher is doing the right thing, is trying to check in with the parents, and the parents are absent? They don't respond. They don't come to student-teacher meetings. They don't seem supportive of their child in the classroom. How do you fill that gap?
When I think about my time as a teacher, I made attempts to give families a call, a text message, or an email. And when it worked best, we got to have meetings and discuss the students' current progress and what they needed at home and how we could work as partners. I think it was really important to me as well to have the mindset and understanding that parents want the best for their children. And sometimes circumstances can be very difficult for people to be everywhere. And that's why it's important for us to think through at a school, at a district, and at a policy level, what are the ways that we are best resourcing the classrooms and the schools? What is in our control in our different spaces that offer the resources to teachers to not be the teacher, the nurse, and the guidance counselor, but to focus on the kids' education and understand and trust that the resources that we are offering schools are available to kids and their families.
As we're entering Teacher Appreciation Week, what about morale, especially among teachers in the city of Milwaukee? The graduation rate for MPS is about 69%, whereas in the rest of the state it averages about 91%. That's got to take a toll on teachers when they're in the classroom with those students and they know that maybe 3 out of 10 of them are never going to graduate?
There's two things that are true. One, you operate in the space that you have control over, which in many cases, it's the classroom and the relationships we have with students and our outreach to families. It's the relationships we have with our colleagues and our school leaders and administrators to figure out what is it that we can offer at the schools to best serve students. And right now, we exist in a system in the city that isn't serving students well. So the question then becomes, what is the best way for us to coalesce, come together, and be very clear about what are our priorities as a city to better help students graduate from school, to better prepare them for college? It can be frustrating. You wake up every day wanting to be the best for children, understanding you're one part of a larger system that needs to be better because kids in Milwaukee deserve better.
And that was Michael Wynn, Executive Director of Teach for Milwaukee. Teach for America, Milwaukee. It's 9:41. Coming up to just a couple minutes. Boy, do we have a great conversation lined up for you today. Got a preview of it right after this on Wisconsin Weekend Morning News.
Before you go looking for an area rug that you'll have to settle for because you think that the one you really want will be out of your budget, come to Design Exchange, where you'll find a formidable selection of Oriental, Persian, and other wool area rug choices at 25 to 70% off retail. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor on consignment at a value. Design Exchange in Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
If you're trying to find really good, high-end, distinctive furniture, the kind they just don't make anymore, then come to Design Exchange. But you better get here quickly, because the best furniture we take in on consignment doesn't usually last long. It may be vintage, it may have once been out of your range, but now you'll find it's priced right. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value.
Design Exchange.
Slide into your neighborhood Century Food Store to score the freshest produce, tastiest treats, and everything in between. Now through Wednesday, save on 48-ounce selected variety Cedar Crust ice cream, $4.49. 13.1 to 16-ounce selected varieties Swanson Hungry Man dinners, 2 for $7. 11 to 18.7-ounce selected varieties Kellogg cereal, 2 for $6. 8 to 15.75-ounce selected varieties Frito-Lay Party Size Lay's, Tostitos Natural, or Tostitos Dip, $3.99.
Attention shoppers. Safe.
Okay. Ooh. Pineapple fulfills every need.
While you're shopping, a drive way back, it's a gunner.
There's something goofy going on with the PA.
Need a price check and I'll take me out to the ball game.
See, what is going on?
You're hearing things. We're at Century Foods, and you can't take your mind off winning that ultimate baseball fan sweepstakes.
I'm hoping to throw out the first pitch at a Milwaukee baseball game.
Or attend batting practice.
Or hold the finish line ribbon for the racing sausages.
You don't say.
The ultimate baseball fan sweepstakes at Century Foods. Enter on Century's Facebook or Instagram by July 30th.
1854, there was a runaway slave named Joshua Glover, and he made his way to the free state of Wisconsin. He was pursued by slave hunters and abducted in the middle of the night in a scene. Filmmaker Michael Jarr told me who betrayed him and why.
The Fugitive Slave Act made it so that any state official, even individuals of that state, had to help in the return of a fugitive slave. So they go at night, they knock on Joshua Glover's door.
How did they know which house it was?
One thing that I've read is that actually one of Glover's friends had maybe turned him in, had decided, I want this reward or whatever it may be, but actually had been the one who had somehow allowed the slave catchers to know specifically where he was living. But for whatever reason, decided that he wanted the money. There's also potential that Joshua Glover may have had a similar love interest as this gentleman. And so maybe it was over something along those lines, as simple as that.
Have you ever noticed that plaque? It's dedicated to runaway slave Joshua Glover in Cathedral Square. Well, filmmaker Michael Jarr described the night 5,000 people in Milwaukee gathered to set Joshua free.
The sheriff and 100 people went up there, and their goal was to basically arrest the owner and the U.S. Marshal for kidnapping and for assault. So it's kind of remarkable. It shows you the mindset of Wisconsinites that a local sheriff felt that he could arrest a U.S. Marshal who was enforcing federal law because basically, in the sheriff's mind, a free man had been abducted and beaten in a free state.
How did the authorities react?
Well, they blew them off. So this went on for several hours, and it became clear, again, under the Fugitive Slave Act, officials not only could not release Joshua Glover, they were bound not to release him. So when that became clear to the crowd, a subsection of the mob decided to take things into their own hands. And so they went over to the cathedral, which was being built at the time, and they grabbed a wooden beam from the construction site. They took it over to the courthouse, and they used it to batter down the courthouse door. And then they swooped inside, they overwhelmed the guards, they used some pickaxes to basically pull apart the jail cell door. They grabbed Joshua Glover, and they bring him out into the larger crowd, and there's just massive rejoicing. One book describes it as though he were a conquering hero.
Southeastern Wisconsin was the scene of a runaway slave's escape, which led not only to the founding of the Republican Party in Ripon, but it was the election of Abraham Lincoln that was all set by these events. And documentary filmmaker Michael Jarr is going to share that true story this morning at 11 on WTMJ Conversations. I really hope you listen to it. If you don't get a chance to listen to it live, we will have it on our website at WTMJ Conversations, at WTMJ.com, Conversations, and also there'll be a link there if you want to see that 12-minute documentary. It is absolutely fascinating. And by the way, the documentary is narrated by our own Dr. Ken Harris. So I think you'll just be swept away by this story. All right, it's 9:47. Coming up in 1 minute, it's Mark Hart and sports right here on WTMJ.
That bathroom of yours, its look is more than worn on its welcome. And a remodeling job? Right now, that's just a little too steep for your checkbook. Well, Lester's Glass Service can give your bathroom a fresh new look, an affordable upgrade that can really produce some pretty desirable results. You could replace that drab shower curtain and install a gorgeous new glass shower door. Why don't you come by our showroom in Hales Corners? And when you get here, we can share with you the myriad of options you have available. Decorative glass, stained glass, beveled mirrors, improvements you may not have realized you could do. This is Stacy Sinks with Les's Glass Service, and glass and mirrors have been our business for over 35 years. You know, my dad Les says, when you're good, you last. So if it's a new glass shower door, fogged or broken insulated glass replacement, or affordable glass and mirror home decor that you've been looking for, you just can't pass on Les's Glass. Les's Glass Service, serving all of southeastern Wisconsin. Find us at lesglassservice.com.
Time for a WTMJ sports update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All sports desk.
Fly ball hit deep, left center field. Back goes Crow Armstrong onto the track. Wall, see ya later. Reese Hoskins blasts one into the Brewers bullpen and gives a jolt of life back to Milwaukee with that swing. It's a 5-2 ball game.
Reese Hoskins slammed a home run in the 5th inning yesterday, but it wasn't enough as they fell to the Cubs 6-2. The Crew meet Chicago again today at AmFam Field. Our coverage gets underway at noon with Brewers warm-up with Dominic Cotroneo here on WTMJ. And 19 of the world's fastest 3-year-olds ran a muddy track at Churchill Downs yesterday. Sovereignty ran the course in 2 minutes 2 seconds, edging out favorite Journalism by a length and a half. Interesting note, all 19 horses share a unique bloodline with Triple Crown winner Secretariat. I'm Mark Wart for WTMJ Sports.
Boy, Secretariat really got around, didn't he? It's 9:49, 50 degrees at WTMJ.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano talking with Dr. Mike Nolte at Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Doc, a lot of people are hesitant to visit a surgeon for spine care.
The good news is that the vast majority of patients that I see and the majority of conditions that I can see can be successfully treated without surgery. And I don't want patients to think that just because you're seeing a spine surgeon means that you're going to be signing up for surgery. We talk about in my clinic kind of a plan A, a plan B, and a plan C.
Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, there is a difference. orthowisconsin.com.
You'll find that the licensed and certified electricians from Quality are top-notch. We've been around for over 60 years, so expect nothing but the best. And here's the kicker. With over 60 vehicles out there on the roads, you're not going to have to wait very long at all for the electrical service you need now. This is Anthony Zanevsky. For all your residential electrical needs, call Quality.
Call Quality for the signature service you deserve.
Call Quality. Heating, cooling, plumbing, and electric. At Quality, we offer the most respected brand names in heating and air conditioning. Armstrong and Carrier. It doesn't get any better. And our technicians are top-notch. I know, because I handpicked every one of them. They're vetted and thoroughly trained. Hey, they're the cream of the crop. And that's why our quality workmanship guarantee is the strongest in the business.
Call Quality for the signature service you deserve.
Call Quality. Heating, cooling, plumbing, and electric.
Spring is in the air, the perfect time to kickstart those home improvement dreams. Hi, Gene Miller here for my friends at Hometown Windows and Doors. They're your local experts in stylish, energy-efficient upgrades. Boost your curb appeal and add real value with top brands like Pella, Anderson, Marvin, and more. All customized to fit your home and your style. Wood, vinyl, or fiberglass, they've got it all. And their newly remodeled New Berlin showroom is the place to start. That's Hometown with an E for your every window and door need. Visit hometownwindows.com today.
My name is Abigail, and I work at Layton Terrace. I love working here. Being a helper is awesome. I can make a difference. This job and living independent boost my emotions. I love my life.
Live life to the fullest with Thinkability Wisconsin, a resource hub that supports people with disabilities throughout their lives. Connect with a real-time navigator at thinkabilitywi.org.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station. The following is a paid presentation. Advice and opinions expressed during the Sunday Sip are solely that of the hosts or guests, and not WTMJ Radio or Good Karma Brands Milwaukee, LLC. The leader in the dugout, the skipper, the man who riles up the crew.
Welcome to the Sunday Sip. I'm Steve Scavidi, host of Point Taken on 620 WTMJ. Got a great one today. We're joined by Al Keith, CEO of Milwaukee College Prep. We've talked before. Absolutely. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
So give us the overview of what you guys do at Milwaukee College Prep and sort of the mission statement.
Yeah, our mission statement is a knowledge plus character paves the road to college and beyond. And so, what we do, I can summarize in just one quick tagline, is we protect the dreams. We protect the dreams of our kids, our scholars, our 2,000 kids that come to us every day. We protect the dreams of their families, who want the best for their kids. And we all know the best for kids means a strong education. And so, we do everything possible to make sure that kids are able to succeed, do whatever they want to do when they leave our doors. And so it's not just college being the overall plan, but we want them to have the option to do that. So whether it be trades, whether it be entrepreneurship, whatever it is, we want our kids to be able to write their own stories.
Why is it so important, and you and I have talked about this before, for Milwaukee College Prep to focus on providing that access especially and particularly for black children in the city of Milwaukee.
Yeah, and so just to paint the picture here a little bit here, it's no secret that the world, but the U.S. is in a literacy crisis. Our kids across the nation are not reading at the level they need to be to access curriculum, to access content, to access jobs. And so I'm looking here specifically at Milwaukee. The NWEA results from last year, the national test scores were just horrible. It's no other way to put it. And so, you look at where we are as a city of Milwaukee, where we are as a nation, and then more so you look at the gap between children of color, black children, particularly here in Milwaukee, in success and achievement, and their counterparts of other backgrounds, other races. The work is very important. And so we're providing means of upward mobility, providing means of resources, not just to our kids, but the community surrounding our schools.
What's the distinction? How do you ensure the academic excellence and success for students at the Milwaukee College Prep?
Yeah, so there's a couple of different things, and I'll save the most important one for last, but I'll start with the programming. One of the beautiful pieces about being a public charter school is we can provide the programming that we know works. We can do things a little differently. We can look at some different curriculums, look at some different class offerings. But I think the most important piece, the secret sauce here is, we're very intentional about hiring the right people. Putting the right people in the right places is key. And so hiring the right teachers, hiring the right assistants to support our kids, to support the learning taking place there. And so between, the amazing programming we offer and the amazing people that fill our buildings, that's the secret sauce there.
I love the fact that you guys use a lot of data transparency so everybody can sort of clearly see what's going on. But this one sort of struck me. Learning interventions, small group support groups that really make it easier for kids to learn.
Absolutely. And so we all know that as adults, right? The three of us in this room right now, I'm sure have different needs. We learn things a little different ways. And I'm a very visual learner, and that might be the same for you or for anyone else. And so we allow and offer those small group opportunities to really hone in on not just the kids or our scholars' learning types, but hone in on what that individual child needs. And so whether that be in reading and math and science and social studies, whether it be in intervention blocks, whether it be in social emotional needs, we really work hard to give our kids and our families what they need to succeed.
You're listening to the Sunday Sip. We're joined by Al Keith, CEO of Milwaukee College Prep. Tell me about the funding gap, charter schools and Milwaukee College Prep, and how you guys deal with that.
We do a lot with not as much, and that's the easiest way to summarize it. So when you look at the funding gap that exists between public charter schools in the state of Wisconsin and traditional public schools, you're looking at a gap that's around 20%, which means, two kids can live right next door to each other, living in the same neighborhood, coming from the same community, can go to a traditional school, and then the other child can go to a public charter school, and the state provides 20% less for that child who is going to the charter school. And so just to give some hard numbers to that, if you look at a school of similar size of our kids or our schools of 500 kids, you're looking at a funding gap per building, not even just for our network, but per building around $1.5 million.
I'm a big fan of action plans. You guys have a great mission statement. But for listeners who are interested in working with or enrolling their child at Milwaukee College Prep, how do they get started?
Yeah, and so you can always start by going to the website, MilwaukeeCollegePrep.com, or just calling one of our 4 campuses to get involved, to figure out, how to schedule a tour. I always invite everybody from the community, come in, see the amazing things we're doing. Don't just take my word for it. Don't just take, the stats and the numbers for it. Come see what we're doing. This is enrollment time. We still have some K4 and K5 seats available, so I really urge, and they're going fast, so I really urge anyone who's looking for a quality college prep education for their child, go to the website, get involved, and enroll right away.
And even if you don't have a student or a child, for listeners who want to support your great mission at Milwaukee College Prep, how can they help?
Same thing. Go to the website, MilwaukeeCollegePrep.com. You can find out how to get involved there. Or I always say, if you're the low-tech community, just go ahead and call one of our campuses. They'll tell you how to get set up with coming in to volunteer, read to kids, whatever it may be. We always want our community members to come in and offer their talents.
I always love your passion about you talking about Milwaukee College Prep, but how much do you love your job?
I love it. It's funny you mentioned that. I had a kiddo who I actually worked with when I was a dean at the Lloyd Street campus yesterday, Gabby, and she, we were talking about her pet. She had a dog last time I checked. I said, "Hey, is the dog still good?" She was telling me all the things. And then she asked me, "Do you like being a CEO? Do you like your job?" And I told her, I love it. Even the hard days, even the hard times, I love it because, the mission and my role in the mission has changed, but the mission is still the same.
Al Keith, CEO at Milwaukee College Prep. Thanks for listening to the Sunday Sip.
Remember tonight at 8 o'clock, the Milwaukee Fire Department will light the Hone Bridge along with the National Fallen Firefighters Foundation to honor and remember those 2 Wisconsin firefighters who lost their lives in the line of duty in 2024. Thanks for joining us this morning. Coming up right after the news, it's the Accident Mortgage and Realty Show with Brian Wickert and Tim Holdman. And I'm going to be back at 11 with WTMJ Conversations.
The leader in the dugout, the skipper, the man who